A little early because Daniela is worried about my caffeine intake later in the day, so she wants me to start a little earlier today. So we're doing that. Thanks to all those people who are reaching out to Daniela about getting the LifeWave patches. We really appreciate it. It's extraordinary. I mean, the whole special needs community. I think it should be brought right into the regular world. I mean, this separation of the special needs folks, they're on a high level, man. They have unconditional love that we can't really understand. But it's a tremendous future. I mean, the whole idea of having special classes, and I don't know. I mean, I know they tried mixing, they tried this, but in general, the whole public education system. I'm a veteran, 20 years in the system. Love the early podcast. Thanks, Sharon, the party queen. I really appreciate that. I probably won't be quite as raggedy in terms of my things that the passion probably will be a little bit muted, perhaps. I don't know, but there is one thing. There's two things that I am becoming passionate about and disgusted and want us as a community to really rise up, and that is public education is broken by design. Yeah, absolutely. They call it the Prussian model, where everyone is separate and everyone's afraid of the layer on top of them. If you're a teacher, you're afraid of the admin. If you're admin, you're afraid of the superintendent. If you're superintendent, and so forth. And the kids are afraid of the teachers, and we're all kept separate. Separate. Hey, Starfire. So yeah, I apologize about the lighting. It's we're working on it. We're hoping. I'm hoping to get my. We've been waiting. We've really been in exile in a way for the last 2 years. I haven't really had my studio. I haven't been able to use my camera. I can't set it up here because it's too hard. Missed your podcast. It's been a while. I've been trying to reach Brian, our friend. I want to buy some coffee. Spiritual Bean. Yeah, just go to Spiritual Bean coffee on do a Google search. Spiritual Bean. Make sure it's from Prescott because there are some people who are imitating Brian. But if you order some coffee, just send him a note. Say I love you, Brian, and you can go to his coffee shop now in Prescott, Arizona. Okay, I mean it's his coffee beans are amazing, and he is amazing. I'm hoping it looks like I'm going to be doing a podcast with Brian and Dave from Keto Carnivore, two new businesses, not so new, but businesses in. The lighting looks nice and bright. Yeah, it looks okay. Okay, good, good. I'm glad. So we got up at dawn this morning and we've been digging all day. I've been really getting my it's much better than a gym. We've dug tons of dirt today. Well, I'm digging a trench across the yard to bury the water line from the well pump. But he isn't answering the phone. Who isn't answering the phone? You're talking about Brian? Nice caught. He's not answering though. Okay, we'll send him a nice caught. Family chat live. Hoot hoot. Yeah, yeah. Brother. We're getting there. Godspeed. We are getting there. I mean, there's a lot of progress. I don't know about Brian on the phone. He isn't answering the phone. I don't know what to say about that, but um, yeah, I mean, he's busy. I mean, he's running a business. He's sending coffee all over the world. Just going to bed. England, shocked to see you. Been following you since kitchen table. Loved you both. Thank you, Lynn Kirk. I appreciate it so much. So much going on in England, but yeah, you should go to bed. It's probably really late. We just decided. I mean, Daniela decided that she wanted to broadcast before our eating fest. We don't eat. We had fruit salad this morning at about 12, and then she wanted to wait till after the broadcast to we're gonna cook some chicken on the fire. We cook every day on the fire, so that's not unusual. We're we're pioneering out here. You look 10 years younger. Thank you so much. I feel 10 years younger because I'm in my element. I'm doing what I really love to do, which is build stuff, dig stuff, man. I mean, I caught myself thinking to myself as I was digging this morning, I thought to myself, my God, I'm digging like my father now. I mean, for years it took me to get to that level of expertise with a shovel. I mean, my father put his whole weight onto the shovel. And I'm thinking like, wow, I'm doing this naturally. I'm not like trying to do it with my arms. But we dug a lot of dirt today, and I do feel young, and I feel strong, and it's so nice to be able to create what you want to do. We're working on build. We worked on moving dirt today. I have to trench across the yard to get my water line hooked up to the tank, but we're also making a platform for the water storage tank, which is 1,000 gallons we were able to buy, and then I'm also putting dirt in my garden. I didn't plant my new fruit trees today. I said let's hold back and let's really make the garden, really make sure that it's ready for the plants because the plants, as far as I understand, are sort of dormant right now and they don't need to be watered. They don't need to be taken care of. So I'm going to just wait a few days until I can rig up some kind of a greenhouse structure to protect them from the wind, which can be horrific up here. I mean, it's 30 miles per hour, 40 miles per hour is very common. Again, just going to be in England. What's the thoughts on David Wilcox? I don't know. I find him entertaining a little bit, but I'm not sure. I like some of the things he says. I don't find it so engaging personally, but that's just me. Maybe you guys can. Maybe we can see you guys cook on the fire one night. Yeah, well, if Danielle is willing to film it, you want would you be willing to film us cooking on the fire? I'd like to see a video of us digging together. This is really it. We dig together. We have two wheelbarrows now, and we each have our own shovel. I mean, she won't use my shovel, and I don't like to use her shovel. And we kind of like it's a kind of an edgy situation because Daniela has to have everything set up in just the way she likes it, whereas I'm just let's just dig. I'm like a machine. I just dig. That's how I operate. But anyway, so yeah, it's really fun. For yeah, I well we really have our own fertilizer up here. I did buy like 10 bags of a kind of a loose mulch from an organic mulch from Home Depot. But we have, acres and acres of cow like history. Like in other words, I can go 20 yards up the road here and put my shovel in and I'm hitting 100 years worth of cow excrement. And that soil is so rich. So I'm in a way I have to tone down the uh, the nutrients a bit with I'm putting regular soil on top because the soil the substrate is so rich underneath the garden trowel. I think you'd call it a trowel. It's like because of the bedrock here, you can't just dig a garden wherever you want. You have to weave in and out of the bedrock. So I put it took me months to really get a um, a water line underneath the garden. It's going to be like 5 feet underneath the garden, but that comes from the shower and the sink goes underneath the garden. So that took me a long time to dig the trench, put in the pipes and all that. So now it's just a matter of finishing the top. And again, when I create something like a garden, I don't have plans. you cannot plan, in my opinion, you cannot plan when you live in the Mojave Desert on top of a mountain, because if there's a piece, if there's a huge rock, if there's a huge boulder in your way, there's no way you can just say, "Oh, well, this is my plan. I'll just blow it up with." It's the land, the land and the materials, in my opinion, tell me what to do. I don't have, I don't. And like, for example, in the back here, right here, I wasn't planning to put on a second floor, but then I stood up, I got up on my RV and I looked out and I was like, wow, man, I want to have a studio up on the second floor. So it's kind of like everything is spontaneous in our world here. It's really fun. Fauci with Fauci with LG, please. I could listen to you all day. Sometimes replay your videos while I sleep. You're not alone. A lot of people tell me. Let me just make sure my audio is right. Yeah, a lot of people tell me that they go to sleep with my voice. So it's not. I'm that boring. It's okay. You're one of the many. I could listen. Thank you so much. It looks beautiful. Yeah, and I can't wait. I'm bringing you guys up on the second floor. Once I build it, that's where I'll be broadcasting from. So I'm looking forward to that. And thanks for like kind of like neutralizing me a little bit, because I was on a kind of a rant earlier in the day when I was digging before I ate my fruit salad. I was really like this. What was I upset about? I was upset about the fact that they're still spraying the sky. They're still putting chemtrails in the air. And I'm just like, what is up with this? So I called my peeps I mean, I didn't call, I wrote some kind of letter communication to the people in the Republic. And I'm like, we got to take care of this. The government is not watching our back. We got 5G towers everywhere. We got chemtrails everywhere. We need to stand up and take care of it. So I would say, and I don't really know how to do it. I'm open to suggestions, but we need to find out who these pilots are, or even better, find out what companies are doing this, right? Find out what companies are doing this, because even like in Tennessee and Florida, they both passed laws that ban chemtrails, and the chemtrails just go on. It's outrageous. How is everyone this Sunday? Yeah, I forgot it was Sunday. I mean, up when you get up here, it's like you don't really have to keep track of the day except to communicate with other people. But I'm pretty much I've pretty much have forgotten what day it is. Every day feels like Shabbos to me, but I work every day, so not religious anymore. As I was. I haven't seen any chemtrails. Where do you live, Sharon, the Party Queen? Well, in Arizona, it just keeps going on. I don't know. I think the Arizona government is asleep at the wheel. I don't know what they're doing. They're probably out giving parking tickets and traffic tickets to people speeding on the highway, instead of like taking care of defending the health. I mean, this is a literal Holocaust. This is in line with the 5G towers, the this chemtrails. Ricardo Bossi says it's the good guys. I don't believe it. I just if they come out and say that, that's one thing. But we need to, and I'm speaking to the community here. You and I need to figure out what companies, what people, what pilots are doing this, and we need to make it very clear to them that we're aware of what they're doing, and that when the end of this comes, we will certainly be very adamant about reporting them for crimes against humanity. These are crimes against humanity, period. And if your company is doing this, if you have friends, if your neighbor is a pilot and he doesn't work for an airline, he just, if he admits to you that he's flying planes and he's spraying people as if they're bugs, you need to get his name, and we need to share these things on the internet. We need to film every time they do it, and be loud and be crazy, and look at these. idiot imbeciles in Minnesota complaining about ICE arresting a pedophile. I mean, are you serious? That's your big thing, and these people don't work. They're not normal people. These are paid protesters. Yeah. So anyway,
How is the grass here?
well, Daniela says the grass is growing here in the desert, but I don't know. I just I think the reason the grass is growing is because they're not chemtrailing as much as they used to. Now, when the government was shut down, there were no chemtrails. So what does that tell me? That tells me that you and I, not that I don't pay taxes, but I do on, like, when I go to Home Depot, I pay a loaded tax for everything. Those tax dollars are going to fund these criminal uh, gangsters, these murderers. These are murderers. This is a Holocaust. Anyway, I spoke to a special friend today. I received many miracles of blessing day. That's beautiful. Um, Yeah. Okay. So always use the disclaimer when you speak anything even close to medical. Right. I am not a medical. I think that really applies to TikTok. I mean, in my opinion, YouTube is shameless about shutting me down. They don't need a reason. They don't explain. When I ask them to explain why are my own songs getting copyright strikes? I don't hear back from them. So I think YouTube. I don't know. I don't know. Wait. I mean, I think TikTok is that way. I don't know, but I'm not a doctor. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just regular peeps. But the regular peeps are the ones who we need to stand up and do. That's my opinion. We're all researchers here. We need to find out who these creeps are. In Arizona, I don't know. I don't know who's spraying the skies, but I'd like to find out. I suppose Daniela could do probably a little search and find out what companies are behind this. And what do we do then? We report them to the I don't know. I don't know this, but this has to be worked out. I was hoping that my affiliation with the Republic, that I was saying, like, well, why doesn't the Republic come out against chemtrails? Well, we're waiting. We're I don't know. Maybe that's not their job. But I think it is up to people to, if you see your neighbor being put into a train to go to Treblinka, or going off to a concentration camp, you would speak up. And so too, if you see your neighbor get into and you see the chemtrails every time he gets in the car and goes to work, there are chemtrails in the sky. You may, and he's a pilot, you may, like, want to report this asshole. I don't know. I don't know. Is everybody going to get arrested at once? Certainly for the COVID thing. I mean, I don't know. A tree, a tree you need to look into is a moringa tree. Right. I don't know if it'll grow in the. I don't know if it'll grow in the desert, but yeah, well, we will definitely check that out. I don't think my friend has moringa, but he very well may. He had a lot of weird trees. So yeah, I'll check that out. Okay, so let's just go into the thought stream. I mean, there's so much going on right now. Really good stuff. If you ever have questions about copyright, licensing, publishing music, YouTube problems, fair use strikes, etc., drop me a line. Okay, thanks, Film TV Biz. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they can shut me down. I don't know how they can shut me down when they owe me money. I mean, I was advertising in the old days. I was monetized. They refuse to monetize me now. I asked them, they said it takes a month to decide whether or not they'll monetize me. I'm just, like, apparently not on the list because it's been like 2 months already, 3 months since I've asked to be monetized, and they just don't get back to me. But I figure it's better not to be monetized than to be taken down. So, I mean, it's I don't have I don't feel like I really I want to build my house. I don't feel like I have time I can't grapple with the matrix on that level. It makes me too crazy. I just when I get put on hold, like, you want number one, number two, number up to number three if you're a professional. I'm like, just screw you, man. I want to talk to a human being. I'm not playing your Matrix games. I'm not going to be on hold for 6 hours and figure this out. I mean, people are saying like, why don't you start a personal lawsuit about the fact that the Department of Education fired me for not taking the vax? I'm just like, I've been in lawsuits before. I don't have the stomach for it. It takes over your whole life. I just would rather just be outside of it. Anyway, moringa grows in the desert. My sister lives in Yuma. Okay, so you want to get some moringa, baby?
Maybe I have to.
We'll check it out. Maybe we can get some seeds. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Happier earlier tonight. Yeah, much better than later. Yeah. I think we're going to try to start earlier now. Yeah. Thanks, TV Biz. I appreciate it. All right. So let's go to the thought stream. So I still have time to eat and before it gets too dark. I'm hoping the lighting will improve as the sun sets. But we have been inundated with chemtrails all day long. Okay. There is no. I don't care what you say. Oh, it's the good guys. I don't give a shit. You Whoever's doing it needs to come out and say why they're doing it. Why would the good guys do it? Okay, so Danielle is saying because there's more green in the desert. I don't buy it. I don't buy that Ricardo Bossi says it's the good guys. Well, if it's the good guys, why aren't they?
They're counteracting the bad
She
chemtrails
says they're
for
counteracting the
also.
bad trust. I don't know. I don't believe. I'll believe it when I hear about it. I mean, we deserve to know something. We're not just like, you know, to me, this smacks of like Avatar. They cut down all the big trees, all the humongous trees that connected us to our spiritual heritage, and now they're spraying the skies with the 5D things and all this other stuff. It's just like, give it up, man. We deserve to be left alone on the planet and not sprayed like bugs. And okay, one other point I want to make before I go into the news thing. I put out a post that said like this, and I want to say this because some people didn't understand what I was talking about. The Satan, our enemy, the one who's into, people are in satanic rituals. They're into eating other humans. They're into taking blood from, all this stuff. I don't want to go into the whole details of it. These people, just like the chemtrails, just like all this satanic activity, we have to understand, in my opinion, this is just mystic Yiddishkeit. The Satan works for Prime Creator. The Satan works for God. Now, there are people who are saying, like, oh, I don't know, Ellie, how can you say such a thing? It's obvious to me, and it's part of the mystic tradition to say this. What does that mean? So here's an example of a story that that explains the metaphor. A king has a son, right? Well, actually, this is not a good metaphor. I'm not going to say that thing. Okay, so why does Prime Creator allow the Satan to exist? Is it because he hates humanity? No. It's because he wants to wake us up. And today, January 18th, according to the Q post, he put out the thing, The Great Awakening. But so if you say, well, Ellie, that's just nonsense. Prime Creator doesn't support the Satan. No, but he allows the Satan to exist. We're talking about Prime Creator. We're not talking about, you know, I don't want to get in trouble, but we're not talking about burning bushes in the desert. We're talking about Prime Creator. We're talking about the force. We're talking about the source of all existence. allows evil to exist so that people will have a choice. He doesn't just banish evil. That's a world for robots where there's no evil, so you have no choice. We have a choice at all moments, at all times, 24/7. And I do not support the view that we are all sinners by nature. That's bullshit. That's fake news. That your mom and dad were violating the covenant somehow by co-creating you. No, that is the highest thing that one can do. All these religions that mutilate, I mean, like Islam mutilating young women, I mean, that is sick. But in my understanding of things, that I don't like to call it God, because God has like dog backward. God has a bad name right now. Look at the Vatican, man. Okay, let me. I got to go to some posts. But these guys have shanghaied. They've stolen our lives, and I'm very frustrated at this point. A little bit. I don't. I'm not going to go there. I just. It's just like, think about it. But okay, so it's just like the story of Adam and Eve. Did God want Adam to sin? Well, yeah, or else it wouldn't have happened. Adam had a choice. I don't think of it as sin. Eating from the tree of knowledge, to me, is not sinful. I think Adam did a great thing. I think he should have been rewarded. But instead, he got kicked out of Jan.18, which is probably a good thing for Adam, because he got to grow. It's like when I was like, after I dropped out of college, I stayed at my parents' house for a while, and I was planning to go to Nashville to try to make it as a songwriter, and I just kept staying. And finally, my mother and I had a big argument. And the next day, I got on the bus and I went to Nashville. I mean, it's not a bad thing to be kicked out of the Garden of Eden. Like, we are not meant to sit in Nirvana all the time. That's not really for us. The Eon patch is good for that. Eon. I mean, it's not that strong, but it does nullify a lot of agita inside your brain. So does carnosine. Carnosine is good for the brain. High chemtrail, Venice Beach, heavy crisscrossing the sky, horizon to horizon. Then later in the day, perfect blue sky turns gray. So it tries so hard to sprinkle. Yeah, I don't. Reverend Jim Jones. Yeah, really. I mean, I all hear YouTube better than Rumble. Yeah, YouTube is better than Rumble, and it's easier to share and all these things. So I'm happy to be on YouTube. Literally looks like tic tac toe. It's obscene. These are crimes against humanity. This is a Holocaust. I don't care if I just don't buy it that these are the good guys. I don't buy it. This has to stop. And the government doesn't seem like it's interested in stopping it, right? The government of Arizona, the government of Tennessee outlawed it, but it still goes on. Who are these creeps? Let's find out. Let's do our research. We're all Q-tards. Let's do our research. Find out what companies are doing this and make it public. Make a scene. We don't have to go out on the streets like those stupid assholes in Minnesota. We can do this online. We have X now, thanks to Elon the White. Elon, gave us a digital beachhead, a safe place to communicate with. We need to find out who these pilots are. We need to put their names out. We need to find out what company is doing this. Who's doing? Follow the money. I don't know how to do this, but I'm sure a lot of you autists know how to do this, and you know how to follow the money. So let's do it. We're waiting for the government to save us. So the Satan works for prime creator. What the Satan wants is for you to say, I don't want to have anything to do with you. I don't support this. I don't support the liberal creepazoid and all these factions that are into satanistic war is a satanic ritual. These on many levels, many these people are into Satanism. So why would prime creator allow this to happen? Because this is a free will universe and he wants us to make a choice. So we as Q-tards, as autists, as people who follow the rabbit trail down these dark holes, we are equipped to make a choice and say, no way. No way am I paying I mean, at Home Depot, I'm victimized. Can I get out of paying taxes? I don't know. I can buy I have other places where I can buy materials where they don't charge me tax if I mean, if I want to get crazy. We're paying for this. We're paying for these chemtrails. I'm sure. This is like we're paying for George Soros. Reverend Jim Jones, her name is Chava, and she is a mother of all life. If you were on earth at the same time as Adam and Chava, you died because your soul couldn't endure their holiness. Mordecai, what kind of bullshit is that? That's bullshit. Mordecai, you really believe that crap? I mean, that's why I left Crown Heights. We're not holy as Chava and Adam. That's utter like fake news. I mean, no offense, Mordecai. I love you. I know you've been on the channel a long time, but you don't have to take all the company teachings. You're a sinner. I mean, in Chassidus, we're all sinners. We're not saints. I think that's bullshit. Because I look at a beautiful woman, I'm a sinner. Because I have sex with my wife, I should be studying Torah. Be fruitful and multiply. I don't know. I don't want to rant on this, but it's just, I don't know. I don't know where, there's so much fake news. There's so much lies. You understand why he says Eve. Um, Chava, she is a mother of all life. Yeah, if you were on earth at the same time, you die because your soul couldn't do that. That's just bullshit. That's bullshit, Mordecai. You're just as holy as anybody else. I'm sorry. If you're alive, you're holy. If you're a bug, I mean, Daniela found a bee inside our RV this morning. She gingerly took it in her hand. She talked to it. She loved it. She put him outside on one of our new fruit trees. Is this a sinner? Are we, can we categorize? Are we equipped to say that, I mean, they were on a higher level? I don't think so. I mean, Adam was totally one with God. He wasn't choosing. He didn't have choice. When he had choice, he chose to eat from the tree of knowledge. And I salute him. I don't think that's a horrible thing. I think it's a wonderful thing. And why would God say, I'm kicking them out because they're going to eat from the tree of life and live forever after they eat from the tree of knowledge? That does not sound like prime creator to me. That sounds like some force got, I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I know that's heresy in my community, but I don't give a shit. There's a lot of bullshit in all the religions. I'm sorry. All three religions are full of ridiculous dogma. And we need to free ourselves like we free ourselves from fake news. But anyway, I don't want to get into this. I really want to just talk about chemtrails, right? Chemtrails, they need to stop. And this is something we can do something about. My cycle ride to watch a while, cool, man. Um, I think there's so much taught in the name of religion. Does anyone here really believe that the creepazoid parasites, they changed our history, they changed our news, they changed our They fed us poison. They shot us up with death jabs. All this stuff they did, but the religions they didn't touch. The religions are pure. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, that's not. I don't want to make an issue out of this, and I don't want to get taken off of YouTube either. They're spraying trails. Good, fix her up. They've not been doing this for 3 months in New England. I don't know. You maybe show me the proof. Show if this was true, are we also not able to? This is supposed to be a free will universe. We can't choose whether or not we hire the good guys to fix up our skies. If the good guys are fixing up our skies, I want to know about it, right? I'm supposed to have a choice here. Where this is a free will universe. They're just spraying the skies. That's not free will. That's bullshit. I don't care if it is the good guys. If it's the good guys, you better let us know. It's so frustrating. I don't know. I don't I literally don't know. Nice going, Danielle. The love shared between you and the bee is total. Yeah, that is totally how it works. She's awesome. She's awesome. She is pure. That's why, that's why we are able to coexist, because she is just, she doesn't have any what you would call evil, other than she she's very concerned with health. I mean, and that's not evil, but she is an amazing researcher. I mean, anyway, okay, yeah, but I could sing her praises all day. Let's just go to the thought stream for a while. I'm not used to broadcasting this early where I'm not falling asleep. So, but do you feel me about the chemtrails, guys? I mean, we need to we need to have some say into what they put in our air. That's why I left New York City. We saw boats. We didn't see the boats, but we saw chemicals being coming in, not fog. People say it wasn't fog. We saw chemicals coming into the coast from where we lived on the 13th floor. We could see this stuff. We could see the chemtrails. We could see the immigrants being flown into JFK hour after hour after hour after nightfall. We saw all that. So we moved out here. So we figured, we're in the middle of nowhere. I didn't know it was the middle of nowhere when I bought this place, but it is. And I'm happy now that it is. But chemtrails are everywhere. We have X. We have, we need to make noise. We need to let people know we don't comply. If you're going to do this to us, we're not paying your taxes. We're not going to butter up your insurance companies that are stealing our money. There are two prices when you go to a doctor, if you have insurance and if you don't have insurance. What does that tell you? It's a scam. All these scams. Now they're saying that the bad guys are going to pump like billions of dollars worth of currency into circulation next week. What's that going to do to the price of silver? What's that going to do to the price of gold? What's that going to do to the price of XRP? What's that going to do to the price of copper? You can't even buy copper anymore. APMEX has run out of copper. And D&B Metals only has one thing you can buy. You can't even buy copper. I was telling a couple of weeks ago, I think copper is a good investment. And I bought 100 ounces for $100. Now I can't even do that. I can still probably go to Home Depot and get some pipes. I still got lots of wire left over from my well pump that's probably worth a fortune now. It cost me a fortune to buy it. I spent $3,500 buying wires for my well pump. $3,500. It took me 2 months to be able to come up with the money. That's why I didn't have a well pump all this time. That's because of the copper. Copper is valuable. Copper really does something. And we're coming into a world where things that do something are valuable. Things that make laws and make you get a license and all this parasitic bullshit, that's going to be gone. You know, I think, in my opinion, there's too much fear taught in the Orthodox world. They are afraid to drive on Shabbos. No, I don't agree with you about driving on Shabbos, because Shabbos is a beautiful ritual, and it's not that they're afraid of being punished. It's that they enjoy. It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable not to drive for a day. It's enjoyable to hang out with your people. It's enjoyable to have the meals already cooked so the woman doesn't have to slave away on Shabbos, so you can just relax and talk. It's a beautiful tradition to take a day off. It's beautiful. It's not that they're afraid to drive. I drive on Shabbos now because because I feel that my life is such that I don't feel that I want to take. I don't. I know that we're assured if you take a day off for Shabbos, it'll be covered. I think we're in a life and death situation, and I don't. I'm in. They say if to save a life, you can violate Shabbos. So I don't. I don't keep Shabbos because I feel that this broadcast is is designed to save people from the Holocaust that's going on now. Okay, so but anyway, I don't want to get on the negative because there's so many good things going on too. Um, light and dark. Yeah, have light. There must be dark. Right. You have to choose. We have to choose. And that's why the Satan is hired by God to give you a choice. So the story that I didn't want to tell is that a king hires a prostitute to tempt the prince, hoping that the prince will say, "No way." That so if the prostitute does her job correctly, the prince tells her, "Beat it, man. I don't have time for this." And that's with the Satan too. Now, I just, I have, you know, conflicting things because I was, whatever. Okay. I don't want to go into it. You guys know what I'm talking about. Free will. Yeah. We have free will. And we also have the free will to find out who's mucking up our air. If it's the good guys, come out and tell us, you know, I'm okay with that. But if it's not, we need to find out who's doing this and shut them down. I just know a lot of Orthodox people who are fearful. It's not that they're fearful of breaking Shabbos. It's not that they're afraid. I mean, I could not explain that to my father when I became Shabbos observant. It wasn't that I was afraid to drive a car. It's that it would break the peace, the quality of Shabbos. Shabbos is, listen, I love Shabbos. I love being in the religious community. I was in the religious community for 25 years. The only reason I left was because of COVID. But but Shabbos, if you've never experienced an Orthodox Shabbos, in my opinion, you haven't really lived. It's that beautiful. So it's not fear, it's love. It's love for Shabbos. Shabbos is exquisite, and I miss it very much. But I don't feel in at this point in my life that I that I can make the time. I know a lot of Jewish people would be, "Well, Ellie, that doesn't make sense." But listen, I mean, I don't know. Are there? I don't know. I just think that somebody has to stand on the hill and scream that things ain't going just but on the other hand, okay, I don't want to get into a black pilling thing. I don't think we should be afraid. I think we should be joyous. I think what's going on in Iran is the liberation of people, but I think that here we need to keep up with our Iranian brothers and sisters and start to scream and yell about the chemtrails. Okay, that's my and the 5G towers and the poison food and the poison medicine. And I'm not a doctor. And the fact that they're robbing us blind with these governmental agencies that line their own pockets. The bee was blessed with. Yeah. Hey, Brian, are you coming on Monday? By the way, I want to do a show with you and Dave if you're into it. Um, anyway, yeah, Brian, Oh, somebody on the channel earlier was trying to call you as well, Brian. So I learned the Torah and mitzvahs that are here post discovered that they were part of God. Yes, that's very good, Mordecai. I agree with you. But once you know you're part of God, well, I already knew I was a part of God before I became religious. I'm not saying you shouldn't be religious. It's a beautiful thing. That's why I stayed for 25 years. I love being religious. But I feel that another place for me right now. I'm not saying higher or lower, but there are other things that I need to focus on. I think the community really dropped the ball with COVID. I really do. I think they you know the Rebbe said, oh, you listen to your doctor. Well, did the Rebbe say, get on the cattle train to Auschwitz? Just it's okay, man. If they kill you with the vaccine, I don't want to go there. I don't want to lose my channel. Anyway, you guys can get it. All right, let's go to the thought stream. Let me save my ass with a little bit of thought stream. Okay, let's just go here. Okay, it's time. The Insurrection Act of 1807. The Q movement was created on the 1st of April, 1860, when 20 generals placed Abraham Lincoln into office to fight the Satan worshiping Khazarian mafia who created the slave trade and owned 99% of U.S. slaves. I don't know if that's true. Today, this battle is coming to an end. 1963, 77 generals this week, as a new quantum financial system, QFS integration, completed worldwide Tier 4B. I think this is just total bullshit. That, I'm sorry. Somebody said yesterday that they didn't know I don't believe in the RV. I do believe in the RV, but I don't believe that you're going to get an email telling you to come down and bring your Zim bonds with you. I think that's just wishful thinking. And there's some people on X that I just unsubscribe to them because they're continually telling me that the QFS is now active and this week you're going to hear something. They've been saying this is like Sherry, this is like Mark Z. They've been saying this for 5 fucking years. Okay, the RV is coming this week. So the what is it, the thing that cried wolf, was it a girl that cried wolf all the time, and he said, wolf is coming, wolf is coming, and they all ran to help him, and then finally the wolf came, and he had been crying so many times and nobody came. If the RV comes and I get a phone call, 4B is coming, you're an internet person, we want to talk to you, that's great. It's about time. But you guys are real late in coming, and I don't think it's good for us to have the attitude that somebody is going to come and save us. I think we need to save ourselves. We need to find out who's doing the chemtrails, okay, et cetera, et cetera. I'm getting blustery here. Let's go back to the thought stream. It's time. That's me. All right. This is a controversial thing, but look at this chart laying the real hierarchy. I don't know if this is the real hierarchy, but the black nobility bloodlines, the Farnese, the Massimo, Colonia, Pallavicini, Torlonia, tower over the elites like Rothschild, Windsor's, Romanov, Habsburg, all feeding straight into the Vatican. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, yes, I know, but where are the Orsinis? Where are, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, this is a very interesting article. This is saying Coinbase CEO accidentally exposed why XRP and are a threat to centralized exchanges. Why would Coinbase fight the pro crypto market structure bill? Because if you read between the lines, the bill doesn't just bless crypto, it drags CEX closer to becoming banks. The White House has been super constructive here. In general, okay, let me just go through this post because this is important. I just want to get to the bottom line. In other words, the more this bill pushes crypto towards bank grade rules, the more value migrates from custodial crypto banks to neutral infrastructure, and that's exactly where Ripple, XRPL, and DeFi are poison themselves. So let me summarize my understanding of what I think is going on here. Coinbase has never been on our side. They fought XRP to the nail. I lost hundreds of thousands, a couple hundred thousand XRP coins because Coinbase made it. I don't know what's going to happen. XRP, the SEC, they didn't stand behind, they didn't do the right thing, which would have been to say that this SEC suit is a bunch of bullshit. And of course, XRP is there's nothing wrong with it. But Coinbase was all over, all and still continues to stay to make it seem like Bitcoin is the answer. Bitcoin is a scam token. Ethereum does not work. Neither of them work. XRP works. So for Brian Armstrong to come out against the government bill, which makes it like a level playing field, from my understanding, is just more of Coinbase being Coinbase. Now, I love the platform Coinbase. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a terrific platform for trading crypto. But they have not been on the right side of history at least once. I'm talking about XRP. And they continue to talk as if, like if you want to get free stuff on Coinbase, if you want to be a good little boy or girl, you're going to get paid in Bitcoin. Why Bitcoin? Why are you continually choosing Bitcoin? Because they're getting paid off. They're making a lot of money on a scam token. And anyway, that's that. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but it seems that way, that these guys, everyone's looking at for themselves. This is not what the awakening is about. In the awakening, we look out for each other. We all get horrified by the chemtrails. We all try to figure out. Nobody's above anybody else. The bee is not lower or higher than I am. I am not lower or higher than Adam. I'm just, whatever. Okay, let's go. XRP is under $2 again. So that's what happened here. Okay, let's go. Let's go share this. Okay, I just want to go back. What year did you realize this was happening in the skies above us? It's horrendous. Storm coming. This is from today's Delta, January 18th. Storm coming. Warning. Okay. And I think it says the Great Awakening, but I'm not sure. Transatlantic unity is over. Leftist, globalist, EU elites failed. Okay, this is the turnaround day. Just doing my job. Wonder if the sky opens and all of us demons and minions. Okay, just doing my job, right? This is crimes against humanity. We need to be loud. We need to be doing our research. Just doing your job. Really, just killing people is your job? Bank of England must have, for a financial crisis, triggered aliens. Right. They want to bring out the alien card. Iran's state TV hacked. Okay. Welcome to Switzerland. It's an honor to receive a man who has stood firm against global conformity, who has championed national sovereignty, free speech, and the fundamental rights of the people. In a time when governments betrayed their own citizens, we need leaders with the courage to go against the tide. Trump polarizes because he awakens. He provokes because he exposes injustice. He disrupts because he doesn't belong to the system. Switzerland, once a symbol of neutrality and freedom, can learn from that spirit of independence once again. Welcome, Mr. President. May your voice be heard here as well. Okay, I want to go. I mean, there's a lot of information. Let me just go to my feed. Coinbase, yeah, I don't know my Coinbase. This goes back to Lincoln, man. This is deep stuff. Storm coming. You never expected POTUS to survive the international coup and the Zersetzung campaign. They never anticipated Elon Musk buying X. They had all their ducks in a row for 2030. Now they're falling about in a total panic. This is what is coded in your DNA, who put it there, why. Mankind is repressed. We will be repressed no more. Information is knowledge. Knowledge is power. Information is power. How do you protect your DNA? There is a war for your DNA. Protect your DNA ascension. Think about it, man. This is Garden of Eden stuff. Information is knowledge. We ate from the tree of knowledge. Who did not want us to eat from the tree of knowledge? Who encouraged us? The bad guy, the reptiles. I mean, how do you figure this? Silver price going up. The silver supply deficit is real. Mining production peaked in 2015 and has been on a downward trend for 10 years. Higher prices won't change that. Silver is mostly a byproduct of. Okay, so they're saying that if you can't get silver, invest in silver mining. This guy is saying, he's saying, he's saying Bormadine projected to be producing in 2030, and Z Gounder is a place. I don't know about these things, but I am definitely going to check it out. Breaking Fed will inject 55.3 billion into markets over the next 3 weeks starting Tuesday. That's not QE. That's not rate cuts. That's direct liquidity. 55.3 billion flooding into risk assets in 21 days. And you're still wondering if it's too late to buy crypto? Position now. The next week's schedule is insane. Fed liquidity injection Tuesday. Okay, it's all happening. Wall Street apes spraying our skies are being sprayed with chemicals and no permits needed in many states. Okay, this is outrageous. Airports just became ICE checkpoints. That's pretty cool. The Q movement was created. We did that. Okay, it's time. 1807. Release the aliens because silver's on the loose. The cooling issue failed. The margin raise failed. Okay, so they're in trouble. ICE is removing some violent criminals. Alert, copper is gone. This should stop everyone in their tracks. The world's largest online bullion exchange has completely sold out of copper. Okay, so that's the Great Awakening. January 18th, 2018, the Great Awakening, Q. Okay, it's happening. That's Delta for today. Okay, the Great Reset. It's funny that people think it's germs causing them to fall ill, not the pesticides, herbicides, glyphosate, Teflon, fluoride, PFAS, forever chemicals, seed and vegetable oils, artificial sweeteners, colors, chemicals. What? Glyphosate. Glyphosate. GMOs, antibiotics, EMF, radiation, toxins, parasites, and carcinogens they encounter every day in their food, drink, water supply, skin, laundry, and body care products in their environment. The Great Reset. For those asking why Trump has not invoked the Insurrection Act yet, the answer is simply public perception. This is, pilot catches one in the act and decides to upload it on the internet. Watch it turn on and off, right?
I'm going to put this on YouTube.
You videoing right now? Oh God, don't video right now.
It's like it's spraying out of the top of his wings.
Don't do any evidence.
All right, so that's the chemtrail situation. See how the lighting changed during the evening. Shabbos channel or a human one. I don't know what you're saying. Just focus on the 4th of July. Anything earlier is a bonus. Yeah, I agree, Elon. I mean, Trump did say that the 4th of July, but we could still make a ruckus about the chemtrails. We could still do our due diligence and find out who's doing it. These people are lost. Thanks for your time, and God bless you both. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anyone is lost. I think everyone, is where they are holding. Is Gila still around? Yes, she is. She's very active. She's She believes that she's found the Mashiach. She found a man who she says is Messiah. So God bless her, man. I mean, she's on a high level, so she can Shabbos channel or human one. I don't think it's that simple, Portals. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Shabbos. There's nothing wrong with Shabbos. That's what I'm saying. I choose not to indulge myself in that area. Okay, don't have show. We won't have to show up with a suitcase in a dark alley, touch our nose. Right. That's what I totally. That's my feeling exactly. I couldn't have put it better. When this Mark Z, who's supposed to be, according to Gila, he's a very nice guy. He has, issues, whatever, physical issues. He's a very nice guy. He was wonderful to the channel. He gave money to the channel. But he's telling people for 5 years, you're going to meet somebody in a dark alley with an empty suitcase. It's just, this is bullshit. This is not how we want to be saved. We want to save ourselves. But anyway, that's just another side thing. Let me just go back to the thought stream for one more minute. Okay, so this is obscene. This is a Holocaust. Do it Q, right? Just dropped 30 degrees and all the planes overhead all day finally formed this white ceiling. This is what they're doing to us. I think we would all be pleasantly surprised if we knew just how many people are fully aware of geoengineering. Perhaps not all the details as to who, what, why, but that they know. Unfortunately, it has been turned into a tinfoil hat subject by the mainstream media, so people stay quiet. Make some noise. This was an amazing call. Listen to this.
Second reporting. We're here to arrest a child sex offender. And you guys are out here honking.
Oh, they're not. No, we're pressed. We're not.
That vehicle right there is honking and impeding our investigations while we're trying to arrest a child sex offender. That's who you guys are protecting. Insane.
Okay. No vax for HIV after 40 years of research, no vax for cancer, no vax for the common cold, yet a virus mysteriously appears and within 12 months a vax is found by 4 pharma companies all within 1 week. Oh yeah, nothing was planned. President Trump and the War Department have put 1,500 active duty soldiers on standby pending potential deployment to the Minneapolis area. They're all from Alaska, so they know how to deal with the cold. I say to our government, please stop spraying us. If you're wondering where all the butterflies have gone, then just look up. Bird, bee, and insect populations have been in dramatic decline since everywhere in recent years, thanks to the chemtrails. Yeah, they're everywhere. Look at this. I totally agree. That's me. Fuck Minnesota, Venezuela, Ukraine, Iran, Gaza, Israel, and everything else. Nothing matters if we can't stop the geoengineering that already wiped out most of the bees. Okay, we will be dead. January 18th. Are you following the news today? What a big news day. These people are really stupid. This will be the end of the D party. There will be a path forward with public outrage to jail so many so-called untouchables. You, the people, have the power. Down she goes. Strip keeper effect, fact on fact. When you see truly awake, you really see it. Teenagers exposing a hidden truth that we can't deny about the world. Okay, so let's go.
This is exactly why I don't watch sports. There's a reason why the Romans used to say that if you want to keep people distracted, you simply give them bread and circuses. And it is because they knew that if people were fed and entertained, then they wouldn't question anything and they wouldn't think for themselves.
Okay, that's a beautiful thought. Anyway, let's just go to the principal thought stream. We don't have show up right in a suitcase. Exactly. Let me go. Let me just go to see what's just been posted. Okay. We must ensure Democrats don't destroy our elections with illegal voting. Duh. Imagine in 2026 underestimating this man. Right. Okay, so approximate map of Greenland without ice. Meanwhile, over Arizona, all the absolute craziness happening right now in the world, it's quite easy to forget that we're being sprayed like bugs every single day. Watch the end result. Imagine thinking this is normal. Coca-Cola truck full of kids found. Can someone on X tell me why this isn't all over the news? Right? Fire and Fury, just in, President Putin's special envoy Kirill Dmitriev says, join Russia in its fight against Satanism. Amen. Hallelujah. This is a seasoned veteran signing up for ICE. That's beautiful. Review your cart. Atmex buying to $500 or more. This is shocking. Okay, so you can't even get stuff. Silver Spot, it's going way up. China GDP release, Fed injects 8.3 billion. Wednesday, Trump economic speech. Thursday, Fed injects another 6.9 billion. Friday, Japan rate decision, expect high volatility. Okay, so that's it. I think that's really, I think we got a lot. I hope I wasn't too, but we should be outraged. We should be outraged about the chemtrails, and we have a choice. We can. And here's the thing: if I have any Yidden still listening to my channel, if they haven't been totally offended and turned me off, but this is a message to all people, to all patriots, and this is an old message that I used to say all the time. I'm going to say it again. Because I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated with, I'm still giving, I'm still interested in the Republic. I want to see where it's going, but so far I've been a little underimpressed. Let me put it like this. This is an old story. I used to tell it all the time. If you're old to the channel, you may not want to hear this, but the Yidden are standing at the Sea of Reeds, right? The Egyptians who told them to just get out of Dodge changed their mind. Pharaoh changed his mind, and he's coming after them. The greatest army in the world is coming after a bunch of ragtag slaves, ex-slaves, that are standing with their back to the sea. So they split into 4 intellectual camps. Let's see if I can get this right. 1, let's fight the Egyptians. 2, let's surrender to the Egyptians. 3, let's pray. And 4, let's jump in the ocean because God said, do it. Go and I will split the sea. So the 4 camps were debating. Moses said, let's pray, man. Get on your hands and knees. This is why I'm a little bit frustrated with the Republic right now, because they have a lot of prayer meetings. I'm like, we don't need prayer meetings. We need to figure out who's putting the chemtrails in the sky. This is a distraction. This is why I left Crown Heights. Jews can pray 3, 4 times, 5 times a day. We're praying all day long. Who's looking out for the chemtrails? I didn't join the Republic for prayer things. I'm sorry I'm saying it publicly. I joined the Republic because I believe the Republic will replace this government that is ridiculous. That's criminal gangsters. So Moses said, let's just pray to God. Fuck that. This is a time where you have to act, right? You can't just sit here and pray and just hope it all goes away, or wait for the RV, wait for the call, wait for any of this stuff, or wait for Big Pharma to wake up and stop poisoning us. I'm not a doctor. Or the big nutrition to stop feeding us poison. You got to do your own research. You have to be a sovereign citizen. You have to make the choice between, do I want to hang out with Satan, who's hired by God, so that I can say, no, I don't want to deal with Satan. I want to be with God. I want to be on the good side. It's all about talk and action. Plenty of me. It's all about talk and action. Abbott has plenty of messages for me in Texas. Right. I'm not running. Okay. It's the Air Force. You have the proof. Okay. That could be. Could you? Okay. So here's the thing. God said to Moses, no, don't pray. It's not a time to pray. It's not a time for prayer. It's not a time to wait for the RV. It's not a time to wait to be saved by President Trump, in my opinion. It's a time to make a choice. It's not a time to fight. It's not a time to pick up arms and go shoot people. That's the other camp. And it's not a time to surrender and just say, listen, man, there's nothing I can do. I'm out. There was a fourth way. That's the way of Nachshon. Nachshon was the prince of the tribe of Yehuda, the tribe that Mashiach, that David, the King David came from. Nachshon said, or did, he did. Everybody else was talking about it. Moses said, let's pray. The other, Nachshon jumped into the water. The prince of the tribe of Yehuda just jumped into the Red Sea. That's why the sea split. Not because of Moses praying, not because of the people who wanted to fight, not because of the people who wanted to surrender, because of Nachshon took action. This is not a time to sit around figuring things out. What they just said about crypto. Do you think crypto is a good investment? People were saying for years, buy silver. Now it's really almost too late. I would still buy, if I had money, I would still buy silver. I was saying a few weeks ago, buy copper. Wade went out and bought copper because I said that. I bought 100 ounces, whatever. I bought some copper. I'm glad I did. They're going to pump fiat currency into the market. XRP is below $2. You think now is the time to get some XRP? Might be, could be, before it's too late. We have to take this we all have to become sovereign. We all have to act. If you're thinking about it, it's like, we had this lovely person last night. She says, it's my dream to live in the mountains. I'm like, so why aren't you living in the mountains? If that's your dream, do it. What are you waiting for? Well, I can't afford it. I have to retire. Really? You think this government is going to last that long? That the status quo is going to just keep on like stealing your money and paying taxes, and all these blackpilling podcasters are telling you to be scared? We're right? Or are we coming into the ultimate freedom promised to us in this sick, kind of weird story of the Garden of Eden? That we will eat from the tree of life. We will have med beds. We will stop being poisoned. They will stop poisoning us. We will stop volunteering for poisoning. We'll grow our own food. If we don't want to grow it, I don't at this point want to have cattle. I'll buy from somebody who does. Not the big grocery stores that pump it full of poison. This is a choice. You can choose between, and if you think that I'm a crazy person to say that God hired Satan and allows Satan to exist, if you think that's crazy talk, you don't understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is God hired Satan, or God allowed Satan to do his thing so that you could say, I'm not doing it. So, because this is a free will universe. He can't just say, okay, evil is bad. Just don't do evil no matter what. You have to choose it. You have to empower yourself. You have to become a sovereign citizen. In that context, I just want to say, I want to just give a shout out to really to our sponsor, which is LifeWave. That there are people contacting Danielle, and I'm so impressed because she has a little bit of special needs thing going on, and people are calling and saying, will my autistic son or daughter be helped by this? And Danielle saying it's helping her speak, it's helping her function, it's helping her make videos, this life wave. So the idea, some people are calling also and saying what patches are good for losing weight. So what this does is you're making a choice. You're investing money into getting LifeWave every month. It's not as expensive as nutrients or supplements or insurance, but it still costs. You're investing in your health. So because you bought a LifeWave patch, because you spent $90 for 30 patches of X39, which reset, which gets your stem cells up and running and keep you younger and keep you healthy and keep you out of pain, along with Eon. I'm doing Eon now. Because you did that and you want to lose weight, you might check out a new diet. You might check out Dr. Kiltz with the carnosine diet. You might check out Paul Saladino, carnivore, with the animal-based diet. You may want to check out, Dr. Kiltz said the greatest thing he ever learned, and Dr. Kiltz is a major force in today's nutritional world, as is Paul Saladino, there are lots of gurus out there. But he said, when you train a lion, if you want it to be docile, you feed it vegetables. Lions that eat meat are dangerous. People that eat meat are also dangerous. They think for themselves. They are empowered to think. So let me just play a quick video from Dr. Stacy. Just get this.
Have helped people not be able to take as many, but there are some you just probably are going to need to take because we don't get the things in our food. Most of it's not really food anymore anyways. Gosh, we're trying as hard as we can out there, right? So when someone would like to support their cognitive health, memory, and they're already wearing X39 and Eon, what single patch might you add? Great question. I love the way you worded that. Could we get everybody to word that like Shar did? That was amazing. Laura's like, yeah, please. No diseases. Everything's great. So I would add carnosine 100%, hands down. Love carnosine, balancing the brain, all of your executive functions. It is just a powerful brain patch. And of course
Okay, so I just wanted to share that. I mean, if you want to call Dr. Stacy and ask her if you have neurological problems, if your kids are autistic, what patch would you recommend? You could ask Daniela. Daniela feels the patches right away. She's on a very high level, and she knows, like for her, X39 is not as powerful because she's 29 years old. She doesn't need. But if you're my age, you're 70-ish, I'm almost 71, I need X39 every day because I want stem cells. I want to stay young. I want my body to produce my own stem cells. I don't have the money to get injected. I don't want to get injected with somebody else's stem cells. But anyway, so LifeWave it's the gateway into good health, because when you're asking what will help me, lose weight, yes, the patches will help you lose weight. Which are the ones for weight?
X39 and SP6.
She says X39 and SP6, what deals with your.
For me, I feel that the SP6 will work faster.
For Daniela, the SP6, which helps your endocrine system, works faster. She feels it right away. Not everyone is that sensitive. It took me 3 years. I'm a little thick, but when you invest in your own health and you start taking responsibility for your well-being, you will, you want to lose weight, X39, SP6, you could ask Dr. Stacy if you want more refinement, but you'll also think of like, well, what about this carnivore diet? What about this animal-based diet? What about not eating all this processed food that's really not even food, like Dr. Stacy says. So anyway, it's a great way into it. Really forces you, just like investing forces you to confront the idea that I can't blame my situation for my money problems. I could invest, right? I can buy. I mean, now, it's silver, I don't know. Copper, maybe you can still get, you could invest in a reputable copper mine, a reputable silver mine. You could invest in XRP, XLM, because even though, and they're $2 right now, it ain't going to stay that way. All the rails of the whole economy are run on these 2, 5, 6 ISO 222 coins. So if you own some, it's like you're saying to yourself, I control I'm not a financial advisor, but I control my money. I can make mistakes. I've made horrible mistakes with investing. I don't look back. I'm just like, you never count your money while you're sitting at the table. This taught me, don't get scammed. Don't be gullible. Don't if I reach out to you, if you get a message that says Ellie wants to do a crypto trade with you, block that person right away. That's not me. Those are scammers. If Coinbase sends you a thing and says, give me your information, your account has been hacked, those are scammers. If your mom sends you an email and says, I need your Coinbase account number, yeah, that's not your mom. They'll do that. Scammers will do that. So don't go there. All right. Anyway, yeah. So I'm sorry if I've been ranting, but let there be light. Yeah, all this is good. Listen, everything is lined up. This is the Great Awakening, January 18th, 2018. The Great Awakening, the end of evil. Evil is coming down, but it's not coming down on its own. It's coming down because you choose not to entertain evil. And if you happen to be 71 years old and you still have a libido, I don't consider that evil. I consider that good health, good mental health. Anyway, silver is unattainable as of last week, right? But it doesn't mean you can't buy silver mines. It doesn't mean listen, out here I could go into my pawnbroker in Kingman, and people turn in silver all the time. They're always cashing it in. This is the bank. I go to the bank just to get cash, but it's useless. I do my real banking at the pawn shop in Kingman, Pawn World 2. Rosalva and her boys, man. I'm like, hey, man, I I go in and I'll buy 1 ounce of silver, and it'll be whatever they charge me. I'm like, okay, fine. I want 1 ounce of silver. I don't care. I asked them for copper. They didn't have any. They're not selling copper, but I don't have extra cash right now anyway. But taking care of yourself is asserting your sovereignty as an investor. Taking LifeWave is asserting yourself as somebody who cares about their health. Nobody's your doctor. I'm not a doctor, but your doctor doesn't. He doesn't even know. They take a half hour's worth of nutritional courses. I think it's changing now, but they don't know anything. They don't know anything. They have not cured a single disease in 100 years. Just saying. I don't want to, whatever. I don't want to rock the boat of the whatever. Whatever. It's all good. We're heading for 6 to 8 week waiting period. Yeah, Tim, thank you. Silver is unattainable, but you deal with your local people. It's always better to go face to face, in my opinion. It's great to just order at an exchange and have it sent in the mail, but in the best way is to have a relationship with a real human being. Just like if you need to reach out to Daniela, if you want to reach out to Dr. Stacy, it's better to have a real exchange with a carbon-based life form, in my opinion. So let me just play this last tune, and I hope I haven't been too opinionated or vile. Andrew D. Smith, funny one. Sandra, the man with the golden beard. Yeah, it's that's just the lighting. But yeah, we got this. Your beard is getting brighter as you rant. Right, the sun is shining bright. Beautiful day. Well, there are chemtrails out there, so that's a problem. I don't like that. I think and if it's the good guys, man, let us know because it's and be loud, be obnoxious. Am I a conspiracy theorist at this point? Do we care what the mainstream media wants to label us? We need to assert ourselves. Hey, Spade 9. The sun is shining bright. Okay, so let's play the tune and we'll call it a day. I still have time to make some chicken outside.
Living in the city, I was paying down my bills. One flat tire and the whole thing went to hell. Credit cards for groceries, I'm deep in debt again. It's time to split this scene, walk with you, my friend. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land. Stopped paying taxes, your insurance I don't need. The medicines are killing us, hospitals grow like weeds. Moved into paradise, I don't need no gassy cars. Fake news, endless wars, a satanic legal bar. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. My friends all tell me I lost control. Left my wife and job just to run down rabbit holes. But I can tell you one thing about my fall. Where we go one, we go all. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land.
So anyway, yeah, it's all good, man. I think we're coming into, yeah, let's rock. Let's rock this. This is a different phase of the awakening. And it's the phase where we assert ourselves, where we make the decision, we make the right choice. This is the conclusion, in my opinion, of the Garden of Eden story, where we eat from the tree of knowledge, and God's like, hey man, right on, right on. Now eat from the tree of life, live forever. You'll be conscious of living forever. I don't believe people really die anyway, but that's just my own personal opinion based on research I've done. But we got this. This is the great awakening. And Satan was hired by Prime Creator so that we have a choice. How could you have good without evil? But we're coming into an era where, according to mysticism, we will look fondly back to these times and say, hey man, I could have made a choice, you know, whatever. Anyway, just know that you are the one. You are Neo. Your choice matters. Your thoughts matter. Your speech matters. What you want to do matters. What you manifest matters. What you focus on will expand, will become reality. That's the way it works here. May the force be with you. May you realize you are force itself. May source be with you. May you realize that you are source, you are Neo, you are the one. Nobody else in the history of reality can be you except you. So let's rock this thing, man. Let's get out there with a big smile on our face and rock the world.